Hey y'all, I am in Asheville, North Carolina today, and I'm going to be doing a tour of different places. I'm going to go around and look at different places that I used to hang out in Asheville and see if it sparks any memories. So I will show you some of these places. All right. Okay. Getting up to Asheville. The first stop I'm going to make is on Michigan Avenue, because I used to live on Michigan Avenue. So I'm on the way there right now, but I have to turn back to my maps because yeah, look at that building. It's a little abandoned old building. Interesting. Okay. I lived in Asheville about over 20 years ago. It was 2003, 2004. So I think I might be able to figure it out after a little bit. But pretty soon here, we're going to be turning right on Haywood Road. I lived on Michigan Avenue, right by the French Broad River. I worked at a residential home for children with autism. I also worked at a Denny's, which I believe is shut down. And yeah, we used to go to the YMCA. They had a swimming pool there. And I also used to go to the library with my children because my son was not even one yet. I would go to the library. And yep, here we go. I always remember seeing a motorcycle driver die over here by my house. He just tumbled down the hill. I watched him tumble down the hill and called 911. And he died on impact, I think. Gotta be careful on those motorcycles. This is interesting. This is cool. Is that an actual road? Look at this bridge. It's got like these temples on it. The little pointy things. Oh, it looks like it's in rough shape. I wonder if it's still being used. Looks like it might be. Stops to make, so I'm not gonna I'll lollygag around the stops, but I'm not gonna lollygag around looking at bridges I don't recognize. And I remember the drive to my work, I would pass by the Biltmore Estate and just look at it. Maybe I could go. I wonder if there's any availability for a tour today, because I was so broke when I lived here. I never went for a tour. I don't know if they'd let me film though. I'm not going to pay for a tour if I can't film it and show y'all. We're going to need Haywood Road. Alright, let's see. should take a left. I'm somewhat directionally challenged, so I might be going the wrong way. Oh yeah, it's going up here, so I have to turn around. I have to go right, because I remember the road had a downgrade mostly, so let me see if I can turn around. Books, they got books. Let's see, these roads are kind of tiny. Maybe I can just save the world. That's what it says. Save the woods. Oh, okay. Asheville City Schools. Alright, I think I can turn around right up here. Alright. Okay, I'm turned around. So I need to go right. So the road has a downgrade towards the house because I lived right up next to the river, the French Broad River. So that's how I knew. I don't remember the exact address, so just kind of driving. To look at a map. Maybe I'm on the wrong part of Michigan Avenue because this is not it. I'm gonna look. I think it was short Michigan Avenue. Oh, I just missed it. Okay, so I'm gonna turn around again. That was just a quick turnaround. Let me see. Oh, this house is for sale. I don't know. Well, house for sale. Short Michigan Avenue. No. This was not. This neighborhood was a little. It's not as nice as the one we just went through. It wasn't when I lived here anyway. I mean, there was like hookers that would walk down the street and stuff. I heard like I heard that a lot of it got destroyed, but that's the park, so the house should have been behind us. Let me turn around. It's like playing Turtle Crossing, or Crossy Road, I guess is what it is now. I think it's just the trees have gotten so much fuller here. They didn't used to be so many trees, so I think it's right up here. Alright, let's see. Not that one. Not that one. Let's see. Excuse me. I used to live here, and I was wondering, is this gate gonna close?
No.
Okay, because I'm gonna go up there and just like look around, because I used to live here. All right, thank you. All right, so apparently they put a fence around it now. Yeah, this is it. No parking permit required. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna. Guess I don't have to park. I can just show you. Okay, so maybe I can park and just make sure nobody tows me. Tell them what I'm doing. I used to live upstairs right there. The people downstairs were doing drugs and stuff. And this is the hill I tried to sled down that hill when it snowed a bit. So I'm not gonna walk up the steps, but that's the house I lived in. I went up here on this road. The snow wasn't very deep, so I just slid on. I sledded the best I could down here. Tried to slide down this road. I didn't have a sled. It was I think I used a garbage top or something of that nature. Maybe, yeah, I think it might have been garbage top or a pizza pan. Anyway, that hill right there is where I saw the motorcyclist die. He tumbled down the hill. Actually, I think it was right there, but there used to be a road there. I'm not completely sure. Oh, there's a motorcyclist. You as well. So that's our little apartment. Now I'll go check out the river. I gotta move my car. I'll go move my car down so I don't get towed. Anyway. Okay, so back in 2003 or 2004 is when Katrina hit New Orleans. Katrina also continued on to hit Asheville, North Carolina, and the surrounding counties. During that time, the French Broad River, which is behind me, flooded. Okay, I'm going to show you the extent of the flooding. So I'm going to show you. Okay, hold on. Where I just came from, South Michigan Avenue, the water covered this entire area. It went up over that road right there and up Short Michigan Avenue. Alright, I'm approaching Short Michigan Avenue. So the flood went over those pillars, over the road, and it went up the road. It went up to almost to our house. So for a while I had to redirect my path to work. I had to go downtown. But this route, I believe, will take me past the Biltmore Estates, and you get a nice view of that from afar. So, and the hospital where I gave birth to my son is there. So Michigan Avenue. You see where that black car is? It's right where those trash cans are. That's about where I remember the flooding going. Then I'm going to show you how far it is to the French Broad River from here, or from my car. Hold on. All right, here's Twin up here, my new car. There's there's the road that it flooded over that road. Here's the walk to the river, to just show you how bad it was and how far the river is. I'm hoping I can get to it. I think I can. There's a lot more greenery, it seems, over here. It used to be just a dirt lot. I guess because when it flooded, it killed a bunch of stuff. But it looks like it's recovered from that. So I need to go change somewhere. I'm still wearing my uniform. I mean, not my uniform, my interview clothes. Alright, here's the French Broad River coming up. So, here we go. There's the French Broad River. So, yeah, let me show you. French Broad River. There you go. Hey.
You have a good day, okay?
All right, you too. Yeah, this is a pretty butterfly. If he would land. Yeah, he doesn't like me too much. Look at these flowers. Those are pretty. Anyway, this is, I mean, I didn't do much in the neighborhood, so, because it, as you can see, it still is kind of a sketchy neighborhood. There's a lot of people that look like they do drugs, and I don't know. I'm gonna go to, like, most of the time I spent time in town at the library or at the mall, so I'm gonna go to those places. So anyway, this park has had a really nice upgrade though. It has like picnic tables. There's a pathway here. Sorry, there's some cyclists. Yeah, picnic tables. Oh look, there's a little bitty picnic table for a kid. That's so cute. Hey bird, little robin. So now I'm going to take you to Mission Hospital, because when I gave birth to my son, that's where I gave birth to him. And I just remember that night, my ex, my husband at the time, I don't know if he was, I don't want to talk about him. Anyway, he didn't want to drive, and I was having contractions super bad. So this was 20 years ago. I made him drive. He didn't know the way to the hospital. It's not too super hard, so I directed him. But so I'm going to take you there because there should be a good view of Biltmore Estates on the way. So I've never been inside Biltmore Estate because it's so expensive, and I was so broke at the time. But I've been doing so much overtime lately, but I gotta be careful because I've already spent a bunch of money going out to eat at that seafood place and the Airbnb I stay at. But yeah, I'm gonna start saving for a move now that I have a car that I can rely on. So there we go. Okay, so the gas station. One memory about the gas station is I went in distress. So I was having, we had a hard time in our marriage. I think because it was we had some trust issues with each other. We both suffered from mental illness and had a lot of trust issues. I thought he was sleeping around, and I think he thought I was sleeping around at a point too, but I didn't. I'm a one man woman, so I don't sleep around or even talk around. So I don't even talk to other men when I'm in a relationship. I mean, hardly ever, unless I have to for work or whatever. Even though I get along with men better than women. Oh, here's the gas station. So this gas station got flooded. I remember also when it snowed, it was like the only gas station open. when it wasn't flooded. Oh, it is shut down now. But I went there. I was in distress. We had an argument, and I made a phone call on the payphone. We didn't have a. Well, we had a home phone at the time. I think that I couldn't use it for some reason, so I went in distress and called somebody to talk to them. And yeah, so I wonder if you could still see Biltmore Estates from here. What is this? I'm starting to figure out. Someone asked me the other night, what is my YouTube about? Like, what is it exactly? What is your YouTube? I've been giving it a lot of thought, and it seems that my YouTube is all about, it's just about recovery. You will see changes in my life throughout this YouTube. Hold on. You don't have to look at my face all the time. Oh, this is wait a second. I wonder if, so throughout the YouTube that I'm doing, you will see my life slowly get better. I started off, before I started this YouTube, or I started the YouTube back when I was married, but when I restarted the YouTube, I really started concentrating. I think it was January and February. February really, I started really concentrating on it. But before I started back on the YouTube, I ended up basically homeless. I was having a lot of stress in my marriage, and we were arguing a lot, and I had tried we had tried for years to work it out. But yeah, so eventually I just, I was tired of fighting anyway, I don't want to go into details, but anyway, I left, okay, so, and then I felt God calling me up north. I went to go visit my aunt, and I just said I need a job, and I got a job up north within a week of applying. So then so I was homeless. I went through, I had been trying to, I was staying with some friends, and I had been trying to get a job in Tallahassee for some time, and every interview I failed. I couldn't. My kids had stopped talking to me at the time. My ex wouldn't let me talk to my stepkids, my stepchildren, so my parents wouldn't let me live with them. So, I mean, they have their reasons. My sons were upset with me, and I don't know. I felt God calling me, and so I went to go visit my aunt. Ended up, my van broke down. She got it fixed for me, and then what happened after that? Okay, so she got it fixed for me, and which was really kind and gracious of her. And I got the job. But I did go, I felt like, God told me not to return, but I returned to Tallahassee to get my son and his girlfriend and my 2 grandchildren out of Florida, out of Tallahassee, because they were having trouble with employment, they were having trouble paying their rent. So I went and picked them up and brought them up here with me up to Greenville. And so they're pretty much set up now. I got them set up, but I just feel like I need my own space. I love my grandkids, but I grew up, this is where I got hit that one day. Somebody just came out from the side and smacked the side of my car. Yeah, you can't see Biltmore from here anymore. I guess there's too many buildings or trees now. You used to get a nice view of Biltmore. So I gotta turn around to get to the hospital. I'm not too worried about going to the hospital. I was gonna go to where I used to work. Anyway, what did I do? Does it say no turn on red? No. I wonder if I can remember where I worked, because I think I can go straight here and it'll get me there. Or I take a right and then I take a left. Yeah, maybe I should see if I can remember how to get there. Alright. This is right by Biltmore. I'll tell you that story later about what happened since I've been here. There was a really fancy McDonald's up here. Swannon River. Okay. That Moe's is tore up. There was a hurricane that came through here recently, so Helene, and they had a lot of destruction. So, oh, there's the McDonald's. It's closed, it looks like right now. So it has to be repaired. It's that building right there. That's the McDonald's. Yeah, it looks like it needs repair. It's got tore up. I wonder if, I guess Biltmore sustained a lot of damage too. So it's probably not even open. I want to show you these cool buildings. They're, you know, it looks real fancy around Biltmore, because Biltmore Estates is like this really fancy house. Maybe I'll come back this way and see if I can drive up to it. Went and grabbed my son and my 2 grandkids and his girlfriend, or his fiance, and brought them up here with me. Yeah, let me focus on me. So I've been living, at first we were jumping from Airbnb to Airbnb. We could not find an Airbnb longer than 2 weeks until, I think it was January. We finally got a place where we could stay for like 3 weeks or a month, I think it was. Yeah, it was a month we had stayed there. And that was the first place we stayed that we were able to stay a long time. Hold on. We kept applying for apartments and no one was approving us. So we had just moved there in December and started working. So I think it was a lot to do with the fact that we had just gotten there and started working. Because when I was homeless, I didn't have a job because I couldn't get a job. So I was let go from a place right before I left. There was a lot of stress over finances and things, and anyway, going back to, okay, so we were applying for places, my credit's shot, my credit was shot, and so nobody was accepting us. Nobody was letting us. Nobody was willing to rent to us. So we applied for a place and they required that we did an extra deposit on it. But I'm not going to be living there too much longer. I don't believe so. So I'm having trouble finding this place. I'm going to try to put in some directions. But I have a video where I show you my current living situation. It's a little 2-bedroom house. So I'll continue this in a minute. I got to find where Okay, so I think I found the place. I thought it was this way, but I think what I was thinking is that Anyway, I think it's that this is the way I used to go, and I drive on the Blue Ridge Parkway. I used to take my sons on Sunday drives. Usually I feel like I was usually by myself when I went to church, but that's not really important. I drove them on the Blue Ridge Parkway, and we'd look at the scenery and stuff. So so that's where I was going. The area, I looked at the satellite image of the home. It's closed now, but I think it's the right home. The surrounding neighborhood looks different, but it's been 20 years, so that's understandable. A lot has happened in 20 years. So, I'm gonna go this way, and it's more in Biltmore Village. So I worked with, I'm gonna go back to the story. I do this. I have like, I'll try to, maybe I don't know if I'll edit the video to, well, I don't know. I'll probably just keep it in the order it is. So I worked at a group home for children with autism. It was teenagers with autism while I was here. I also worked at Denny's, which I know that Denny's has been demolished, so there's no reason for us to go over there. I think the last time I visited here, it was demolished. So I worked with children with autism. It was where they lived. It was a group home, and we'd be responsible for like 2 children. And anyway, I learned a lot working there. So and I had fun with the kids. We would go to the park and they'd play on the playground, or we'd go to do drives up the. I had to take them places where they couldn't get out because they would run. But I took them on scenic drives on the Blue Ridge Parkway, which is really beautiful, by the way. And the fall is apparently the best time to go. I haven't been there since I lived here. I haven't been there in the fall since I've lived here. But I also had a patient. We went to the movies, and anyway, it was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed it, and I missed that job throughout the years. And anyway, okay, so back to the story of what's going on right now. So I'm in this 1-bedroom apartment with my adult children. We don't exactly agree on parenting styles and a lot of things. So it's kind of hard to live with them, but we've been doing it since December, and it's now June 2025. So I think we're doing pretty good, but I have a hard time just keeping my mouth shut. I really do, and I just need to learn. I mean, if they want advice, they can just ask. So I love my grandkids, but the thing is, I have a lot of good memories of my grandma, and my grandma lived in Ohio. I grew up in Florida, so I saw my grandma like once or twice a year. I love my grandma. I love my grandpa, and I think because I lived so far, we had a better relationship. Because when we would visit, we'd actually have quality time together. We'd go places, and but my cousins, on the other hand, they lived right near my grandparents, so they didn't want to. They sometimes when they were younger, they would be upset with my grandma. I wouldn't be saying this, but she's already passed away, and I'm sure she's okay with it. But they just spent so much time with her. Like, I think that she took care of them a lot. Like, provided like childcare while their mom worked. But so their relationship with my grandma was kind of rock. I guess it's like different. It was rocky. They didn't want to go to grandma's house. They didn't want to hang out with grandma, and so I really appreciated it. Actually, after a while, I appreciated living far away from my grandma as I grew up and realized it. So it's the same thing. I feel like with my kids, that I need less time with my grandkids, and then just make the best, the most of the time. Here, I'm gonna turn this up here. But you know, make the most of the time I have with them. So I've given a lot of prayer and thought to this, and I believe, I know even when I moved up here, I knew God said this was like Traveler's Rest was my resting spot, but I think that it's time. I think the rest is over. So I do need a job with better compensation and better, you know, more room for growth. And I love my job, but I also want to teach. So I've been applying for teaching positions in different areas up north. I'm going to stay on this side of the United States, but does it say no turn on red? No, it doesn't. Okay, so I can go. This is not. Okay. So I've been applying to states on the north of South Carolina. It's too hot here as well for me still. And I've been getting the verse, you know, return to where you were cut from. So I'm not really sure, but not really sure what rock I was cut from. I'm getting pulled up north, so I just don't know where this rock is that I was cut from. So I don't know. Anyway, I'm I just been talking to God, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess if I get a job within a week or two, or at least, you know, some sort of there's the mission hospital where I gave birth to my youngest child. He's 21 now. So I've been applying around, and I actually did some dice rolls to see which state to apply in. I know that sounds silly, but if you look, there's a verse in the Bible that says that God will control where the dice land. You know, God controls where the dice land. I don't know if it's literal. It's not really, it doesn't call it dice, but oh, there's Asheville up ahead. I got to go left over here. Okay, so I rolled dice for a few different states, and yeah, I got a few states that were more, I rolled it several times, so I got a few states that were more prevalent in the dice rolls. So anyway, I'm trusting God. I'm taking that next step over the bridge, because I believe that He wants me. I feel it in my heart that He wants me to move. And this one interview I have on Tuesday, I believe, is the one. So don't count me on it, but I don't know. I looked at this town, and it's just so cute. I just fell in love with it. Just looking at the pictures and the things that are around there, and there's like 2 national parks right near it. So I'm really looking forward to it. Anyway, I will be going off on my own. So I'm really just taking a step in faith across the bridge I talked to you about before, the invisible bridge. And I'm believing that God will help me. It says I arrived. It doesn't really look. I don't think this is the same house. I'll have to drive around it. Let me turn around. So, yeah, because this neighborhood does not look at all like the one I remember. So this must just be another one of the homes. Maybe it was the last remaining one. But it's Western North Carolina Group Homes. Oh. Let's see here. All right. Yeah, this doesn't look like it. There used to be a playground on the left side. This isn't the house. But anyway, I think I'm gonna go to the library next. I'm not really worried about Biltmore. There's lot of people who have filmed Biltmore, so y'all can probably look those videos up. Maybe I'll attach a video of Biltmore. Hold on. Yeah, okay. I was looking for the library that my kids and we used to go hang out at, but it's no longer a library. I don't know what it is. I don't even know where it is. It was 20 years ago. I think it might be a fire station now, but I'm not sure. So, so I've decided, like, you know, 22 years, it's been a long time. A lot of things have changed. So, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go hit the Mellow Mushroom, and then I'm going to, the pizza place, Mellow Mushroom, where I used to go to the Mellow Mushroom, like, all the time. This person's acting weird. I guess because they might live there and they're like, what in the heck are you doing in my parking spot? So I was just trying to stop to figure out what I was doing. So I'm gonna call it a day in Asheville. I'm not worried about Biltmore because a ton of people have filmed it. Y'all can look that up. I'm not really into fancy buildings anyway. I mean, it would be cool, but just to go look at. But I don't know. I like buildings that have character and they're just older, but it's not as big, not fancy. I don't know. Because I'm a little weird. But I'm gonna go to the Mellow Mushroom. My kids and I used to go eat there sometimes when we had, you know, a little money to spend. So, and plus it was like the best Mellow Mushroom. I don't know if it still will be because it's been 20 years, but hopefully they still make them the same way. So there used to be this caboose like train downtown too. I think I'll have to find a parking spot. Anyway, on the way home, I'm gonna find. I'll probably change there too, so that I can go hiking. And I'll find some hiking trail somewhere or waterfall on the way home. So I've got a lot of videos out of this trip, even though I didn't plan it. I think I got 2 last night, and this trip to Asheville is probably about, that's probably 1, the trip to Asheville. But, so that's 3, and I don't know if I can film at the Mellow Mushroom or if I even want to. I might just sit there and chill, take a break. So maybe I'll take some pictures and put it on the end of the Asheville video. This is really cool inside. So I will be hiking some trails later. I have actually been slacking off a lot this last week or 2 because I don't know. I was just being. I just haven't been exercising as much, so it might be kind of hard. I'm really trying to just give it over to God. I just gotta let it go, and I feel like He's trying to get me to let go of the guilt that I have from my past. So anyway, I'm gonna go for a walk. I'm turning over my physical health over to God, and it's a process. It's one day at a time. I have been sometimes doing less sugar. Oh, there's a hot spot I used to go to. It's closed. I used to stop there and get, it's 25 cents, that little orange gas station right there, hot spot. So they used to have little cups you could buy and you get 25-cent coffee. So, you know, throughout this channel, I believe that God will bless me and will, not through the channel exactly, but through my life, God will bless me. I don't know that my channel is going to do much, but I do enjoy doing it and showing y'all around and sharing my experiences with others. But if it doesn't, you know, become really big, it's all right. I'm good. But I know that God will bless me in one way or another through my life, and that will be I believe it's going to be financial. I believe it's going to be physical health. I believe it's going to be... This was at my light. I believe it's going to be physical, financial. I think I'll have to find a place to park. So I'll get back to you on that. I'm gonna go find a place to park.